Hey, book club besties.
From Scrubs to Book Club, we're two burnt-out healthcare workers who love to yap about books. I'm Katie.
I'm Star, and welcome to Aimless Attention Podcast.
Today, we are covering the second book in the Into Darkness series, which is Caught Up by Navessa Allen.
Star's favorite.
This was actually not my favorite book going into this. So I just did a re-listen to this at the audiobook, and it made me appreciate this book more. But I think when I went into Caught Up, I didn't know what... I was expecting more of Lights Out. Lights Out is very light rom-com-y, and Josh and Nico are just two very different people.
Which, yes, I love though, because Josh is too but then if you listen to Lights Out, you'd understand that Josh reminds me a lot of my ex-husband. And so I think I had a lot of problems getting past some of it. I don't want to say that it was hard to read, but it was actually not that hard to read. It was just... There was lots of times where I walked up to Katie and was like, oh my God, and my ex-husband. I'm sure she heard more about my ex-husband in that book than any other book we've ever read.
Well, it may not have been triggering to the point where you were having a response, but it definitely triggered some memories for you.
It must have, because it definitely had, I was like, woo, yeah.
Which, speaking of trigger warnings, we will say, we said this in the Lights Out podcast, but if you have read Caught Up, you know that at the very beginning of the book, there is a laundry list of trigger warnings for this. This is a dark romance. It is a mafia romance. It has stalking in it. It has a lot of different kind of triggering things. And just a warning, if you haven't read the book, go check out the trigger warnings that are in this book before you listen to this. If you've read it and you were uncomfortable with it, we'd probably recommend not listening to this podcast because we are going to be discussing a lot of the plot points that happen in this book. So,
yes.
Anyways, with that going forward, this is following Nico Jr., which is Allie from Lights Out's cousin.
Yes.
And Lauren,
which is his high school sweetheart.
Yes. So
yes.
Lauren, high school sweetheart's probably a loose way to say there's their 2-week relationship that they had, or it was longer than 2 weeks. It was a really short
their
thing.
Summer romance.
Yeah. Well, it was during school.
I thought it was during summer because doesn't she do something on 4th of July? Doesn't she jerk him off or they have sex or something? Why am I blinking
well, she went to
correctly?
school the next day. I don't remember. It was a very short period of time that this happened in. But yes, so she was at a carnival with her friend Kelly. She was running the ring toss with her, and Nico shows up, and Nico Trochi, and she's always thought he was hot and unattainable. He was a year older than her.
This is like the Romeo and Juliet, the two different households.
It totally is. So they were both in Little Italy. They were in the same neighborhood and stuff, and both Italian families. Obviously, Nico's family has connections to the mob, and although her family does too. Her dad was also in the mob.
That's what I meant. So the whole Romeo and Juliet thing,
but
right?
Yeah, so
don't you touch that boy.
Yeah, so they kind of he and his buddy show up to the ring toss. They kind of start flirting a little bit, and then she's out watching the fireworks, and he nods her over toward behind the church.
That's what made me think about 4th of July was the fireworks.
Yeah, so
I knew I was screwing that up.
Yeah, the fireworks are going on, and he sticks his hand down her pants.
Come on, dude! That's the hottest thing ever. Every girl wants that. I don't know. I think that's why this one's more realistic for me. It's more what you would actually do, the behind the bleachers, we made out. I don't know.
Yeah,
it didn't come across as bad.
So
still bad.
I guess, I said, it for me, it just wasn't I went into expecting it to be a little bit more. So we get a lot of the humor in Lights Out from Josh and Allie themselves.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of the humor in this book comes from her Lauren's friends instead, because Junior is a very not
okay.
He's been through a lot of shit.
What we probably forgot to talk about in Lights Out that we will talk about in this one is his mob family is not fucking easy to get along with.
No.
And his mother is not a very doting woman. She is very hard and does a great job as a mob wife. She's not a loving...
She's very sweet with her kids, though.
Yeah, but okay. But what I'm getting at, though, is she's honey, go kill them. She doesn't have that, my mom would be, mean in the sense that she'd be don't do that. She's, to her husband, stop talking. This is family dinner.
Yeah,
everybody shut up. Get a drink. Sit back down.
Yeah.
Where my mom would be okay, everybody, I don't love this conversation.
Yeah.
Let's change it. That's not how she is. So, and his father is a complete fucking dick. So it's hard
and
to
he's
like
named after him too.
Yeah,
so.
and you kind of grew up, and then you also have to think about like, is it nature or is it nurture? Because who's to say that like he doesn't have a little bit of his dad's personality that also kind of makes him, I don't know, a little more stone cold. And doesn't the book start off where they're like burying a body for their father?
Yes,
like,
yes. So
that, like,
so we kind of
you've already lost all sympathy for the fact that it goes back to the whole like, you know, just like working in the hospital, you lose a sense of like being normal to the rest of the world.
It's true. So
you get hard.
So we'll get back to Lauren and Nico's backstory just to kind of talk about the beginning of the book right now. So yes, we open with Nico's POV, and he's watching a car go under the water in the river because they have disappeared. Tommy Machete, I can't remember the Italian names are hard for me.
I am not Italian. Them, I was
but it's Lauren's dad that they have disappeared.
Yes.
At this point in the book, we don't know what's happened to Tommy. We know that he is covered in blood. Nico is. That the car is going down and it was Tommy's, and that he's done for the day and he's going to go home. Yeah. And he is going to message his favorite, essentially an OnlyFans creator. It's what Me For You, I think is what it's called in the book, who happens to be Lauren.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and so
he's like her number one fan.
He's her number. So he's NT95, and the only thing I can think of is N95 every time it's said. I was just like,
COVID
fucked me
problem over here.
I was just
like, man, trauma.
COVID trauma there. And there are references to the pandemic in this book too,
which I appreciated. I did. Yeah. But yeah, no. I didn't think about N95. Good job. Not going to be ruined for life.
I'm sorry. So he is NT95. He is her first subscriber, I believe, and her number one subscriber in general. They've spent a lot of time sexting. He has paid her a lot of money for personal videos. Money. He always tips her when she sends those like teasing photos so he can get the next one. He has essentially just been in love with this girl forever for the last decade since they last saw each other. And so what had happened was when they got together, they started hooking up after that time behind the church, and she wrote about it in a diary. And it turns out that her friend Kelly was also into Nico at the time. And Nico,
girls are just fucking horrible.
So yeah, she was into Nico at the time and found the diary, was pissed. She went on Instagram and took pictures of all the diary pages and posted them.
And this is why I'm glad that I'm old and I didn't live through this, because I could not imagine high school. High school already sucked. I can't imagine this. Like,
no. I remember like some of the scandals that would happen with things getting posted online, and thankfully I was never a part of them. But like, man, there was some stuff, and it was nothing on this level. But she, in detail, wrote about the things that she had done with him and fantasized about doing with him. And she also would like send him notes with like things that she wanted to try and all this kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, she was like sexually awakened very early. Yes, like was so like totally ready for it.
Yeah, and she lost her virginity to him. And then the next day, all of this shit blew up, and she didn't go to school, or she tried to go back to school, and all of the diary things were posted on the lockers and everything like that. So she ended up switching schools, and then Nico ended up saying that she'd made up the whole thing.
But that's because, well, are we talking about the end already?
We can talk about the end.
Okay, because didn't her father threatened him?
Yes. Tommy actually beat him up.
Yeah, and so he didn't want to, like, he was protecting her.
Yeah, so they had said basically, so Tommy beat up Nico and threatened him, and then Nico Sr. had said something will happen to her, basically, if you keep this going on.
Yeah, and so he was just protecting her. So he walked away from it thinking, so when he said that they didn't do anything, he was protecting her, not saying that because it was high school drama. He was actually trying to actively protect the woman that he loved. And I think even in high school he loved her. He just didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah, I would agree.
He was just definitely, like, high school's hard to like pinpoint that.
Yeah, and at some point Nico even tells her that he spent the last decade protecting her. And that has been through various things, whether it was bribing the women and men that she was trying to do stuff with. So because Lauren is a sex worker, and so she does a lot of she does a few different things. So she's a cam girl. She has a Me For You page that she does all this stuff on. That's her primary source of income. Then she also has a partial share in a underground, I wouldn't say, I guess underground's probably a bad way to say it, but it's a sex club called Velvet.
Which, I have to be honest with you, I've never heard of a sex club like this until I read this book.
That was like above board, right? Because so they followed all the laws.
Yeah. It was different to me. Like my brain was like, I know of like underground ones, but not like.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of one that like followed Vice laws and stuff. I guess I don't know enough about Vice laws.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I guess I'm too straight and narrow to like.
I'm not well educated enough in this to really know, but
I kind of was interested, and like part of me wanted to dig deeper, and then I was like, I don't need Google search to be like, my son's on Google. Mom, what were you looking at?
My Google searches are fucked up enough writing a book.
I know, but I'm just thinking like my kid has like my access to my Google. I could just picture him being like, what were you digging for?
Yeah, exactly.
Just, well, why?
Underground sex clubs are illegal.
Right?
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to go, I promise. I was just interested.
So that's kind of her second venture. And then she also does some outreach work and stuff and tries to get laws passed that are to help make sex work safer.
Which I have to be honest with you, I so loved that about her. I loved the like, just the immediate, like when you open up to her and that's her first like thing that's happening is she's trying to meet, it was a senator, right?
Yeah, I think it was a congresswoman.
Congress.
Yeah.
That she's trying to meet and trying to like just better empower, like, you know, more power to these women that are just trying to make their way in the world. I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, like not that like I've ever had to do sex work, but I just thought it was cool. My friend always says that the reason why we never had to do sex work is because our parents instilled shame. I don't think that's why. I genuinely just think I've been fairly lucky along the years to not have to like.
I think sex work also in the modern age has found safer ways to be accessible.
That's true too. Because I'd probably.
So I think granted, again, I'm not super well educated, but I feel like the porn industry itself has gotten better about testing and making sure that people are put in a safer environment and that there's more. Granted, again, I'm not a part of it, but I would assume like larger productions have those kind of safety things involved.
Yeah, they do. Actually, that is a true statement. I also think that a lot more people are more willing to let them wear condoms in the sex videos. Doesn't bother people as much as I think they thought they did. I don't know. I just think it's cool. I personally just never got into it, but I also, you know, that like whole like they light up the room and they're the first ones to die. I 100% would be the one they would murder. I tell your mom the other day we were talking and I was like I saw that and I was like, I get it now. And she was just looking at me. But like there are certain people that I'm like, I get it. Like I get, but you know what my joke was to your mom that was terrible was that I was telling her, I was like, the problem is that it's that we're annoying. Is that we're like those people that get on your nerves? We grate on your nerves. Like I would be concerned. I'd be like, I think about it all the time. I'm like, what would I even do if I did like an OnlyFans page? I would grate on somebody's nerves. They would be like, her voice annoys me. I don't know. Like,
and then you're
like,
making a podcast.
I was trying to think of it. I was like, what would I do? Because some of them are cool. Like I've never actually been on them, but like I have friends that do it, and I've like seen like. Some of them are cool, but like, no, I would be that girl that would be like, we pay her to shut up.
Or, you know what? Maybe people would pay you to not shut up because it grates on them. Like, there are people
like
out there. So that was the interesting thing. So Lauren lives in an apartment with her friend Taylor, who's also a you for me.
Yes.
Cam girl. And then Ryan, their non-binary friend, who does all the editing and stuff. And
yes,
so
it took me a minute though. She did Ryan so well. I did not know that they were non-binary right off the bat. It took me like, I want to say like probably the second chapter or so of Ryan that I was like, I wasn't getting it. I was like fully like, I am so naive. Like you could tell me that you are who you are and I'd be like, cool. I'd be like, so how are you doing today? I have no, I'm just like.
What I liked about Ryan in terms of non-binary representation was that it was just a character that existed. They used the proper pronouns.
I loved it.
Pronouns.
I loved every minute.
It was just inserted. I don't think there was a section where it was like Ryan knew they were non-binary because of blah blah blah. It's like no, Ryan was just a person who was non-binary, and I love that.
Loved it because that's 100%. Like 90% of the time, I don't care. I'm just like you are who you are. If I accidentally use the wrong pronoun, it's not intentional. I don't know differently. If you ask me to do it, I will genuinely try very hard to make sure. But I loved that it was like they, them, and you never had to like think like you were always like, yeah, there they are. Like it was never a thought process. But it didn't click right away. And And it wasn't anything. Ryan could be a girl's name, which is why it never clicked to me. I was like, oh, I was like, her 3 roommates. This is so cool. Like, or her 2 roommates and her. Like, this is so cool. And then it occurred to me, I was like, wait, I'm so naive that like I didn't realize.
I don't necessarily know it's naive. I think it's just like it was a really well done way of inserting a character that is just a part of their identity.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's not like they don't have a coming out moment.
No, but don't
like
you remember me like messaging you and being confused? I was like, wait a minute. I was genuinely like, idiot. Like you were like partially through this book and you didn't realize. I thought it was great. I thought this whole book was great in the sense that they like never once like explained anything. It was like you're reading it like they didn't have a coming out story. She was a sex worker that was very happy in her job, and you didn't like that, then don't read the book, because that
and
was
it wasn't
just,
like she had a traumatic thing that made her more interested in sex. It was just she liked sex, and that was what she was happy having that be her profession. She was very comfortable in herself and exploring her kinks, and I really enjoyed those facts about Caught Up. I think this book gets a bad rep for like losing the plot or not having a plot. Like a lot of people say Lights Out has a very clear plot, but I think how
does Lights Out have a better plot than this?
I think the difference is that the plot with Lights Out was the stalking, and then they have the whole Brad thing and everything happens with the mob. But I think the core of Caught Up is Nico finding his way back to Lauren. And I think that's what people don't like, is that all of the stuff that happens with them, yes, it's a lot of casual sex hookups that happen, but that's part of who their identity is.
I liked it. I thought it was great.
Like.
Yeah, I totally loved it. And I loved it that they like had the falling out and then came back. It wasn't like the whole workup. Like it was definitely a slow burn, which I really appreciated. Like, because she did a great job. Because you always know that he cares, and then I really enjoyed like the getting to see like at the end when he was like, I was protecting you. I really liked that for 10 years she had no clue. Like I just think that like I think it was more real, I think is my problem. It just seemed more like a real traumatic thing that would happen where like, I don't know, Lights Out. I guess it's because it's a story. I'm not a super into like nonfiction, but I like the fact that it's like super close to it.
But I think that again, people loved Josh and they loved how silly he was. He was just this big goofy giant who just like got into stalking and stuff.
I think Star's just broken. She loves just I think broken men. I immediately read this book and was like, this is it.
But
this
I think the problem was people went into Caught Up assuming it was going to be like Lights Out but Nico is not Josh. Nico has had a really rough life.
Yes.
And has had some horrible things that he's seen. And yes, Josh's dad was a serial killer and he went through some pretty bad stuff. And also, but Nico's actively had to kill people. Nico is actively like, they were digging up that random heavy box and they were trying to decide if it was a head or it was lead lined and had plutonium in it or something. Like
I forgot. That's the part I was thinking of when he was digging. I was like, wait, he was digging something with his brother. Yeah. And they were sitting there. But yeah, 100%. That would be.
Well, even his brother's like, why do you feel like you're not, like, why do you feel like you are not allowed to be loved or something like that? Why you feel like you're not.
Because you have to find a woman that can handle that.
Yeah.
That goes back to the whole mob wife thing. Could your woman handle that? I don't know. A lot of people can't. I'm sorry. That is not a career choice that I would want to be.
No, I wouldn't choose it for a husband either. And but the thing with Nico or with Junior is that he didn't choose this life. He got born into it. And it was, you're in the family business. Congratulations, here's your thing. And he was like, throughout this entire book, his dad's like, you're getting promoted. You're in charge of our oil thing. And he's like, that's not like in his mind, he's like, that's not a promotion because I take the fall now. Like, I don't want to be involved in this business. Now I am the person who's going to be, have their head on a pike because of you.
Yeah, like, that's a hard one. Especially, I don't know. It's a hard one because when you bring somebody into that, like you can't have kids or anything, like you feel I guess you could, but then you're doing exactly to your children what they did to you and you're repeating the cycle. It's never going to
he's been spending years saving his money and investing properly so he can get out.
Yeah.
That's been his goal.
Yeah.
So when he meets Lauren, they had all that stuff happen in high school. He hasn't seen her for a decade. He's been keeping tabs on her. He's constantly in communication with her as this anonymous person online that she views as like part of her community and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's how he's been kind of getting off to her and feeling connection to her through these videos and all that kind of stuff. But also, while it was kind of weird, like, I mean, it's kind of creepy in a little bit of ways because he essentially was stalking her, even though she was providing
but he doesn't
it.
stalk her like the same way Josh
he
does, which bothers me.
He does give her like a tracking device and stuff. So when he sees her in the church for the first time, he plops the tracking device in her purse and stuff. So he does do some.
I feel like
things
it's not nearly the same as Josh, though.
No, he wasn't.
Because
like,
Josh was like watching the hospital cameras.
Yeah, no, Josh is doing a different kind of stalking. But I mean, in terms of like, if I knew like an ex-boyfriend of mine was like my number one fan on my OnlyFans, it might be a little weird. But again, you are setting yourself up to have these anonymous people watching it. So I guess I don't know what part of it is like you're complicit in allowing that to happen.
I don't know.
It's a hard question. But
I'm old. I feel like these are all things that you guys get to do now. I had Polaroids were the only thing you got to do. You got to like flip it and be like, here you go, honey, here's a Polaroid of me. Like, you couldn't even take your camera roll to the place they would I worked at a place where you couldn't have them. You would have to like not print it, even though you saw it. You were fully watching it. You were like, I can't print that. I can't print that. So I don't know. Like, so it's different to me that like you guys have full access to things that like even porn. You have full access to things I didn't like.
Yeah,
these
things are
fucking
way
sex
accessible.
clubs throw me off because I feel so old. I'm like, I'm not even that old. Like, when the hell did we have sex clubs that were this cool?
I guess I don't.
Like,
I mean,
maybe this is why I never got turned on by cool shit. Like,
we don't live in a major city though, so I don't know how common these things are. Like, I really haven't done research into like how.
Well, I come from an area where I
exist.
could have like they probably existed all over, but. Because
They
I come from
town,
a city that was like huge back when I was, but the problem was is that like I come from a small town close to a city that was huge. Is probably the best way to word it. But the problem was is that like I'm old. Like, a lot of this stuff was probably like underground shit that like you had to know somebody.
Like, legal.
You had to know somebody that knew somebody that like. Plus, I didn't even know like half these kinks existed. I have to be honest with you. I'm learning about myself as we're going. I'm like, is that a kink I like? I don't know. I have to try that one out. Like, some of that shit was weird. Like, okay. Speaking of kinks and speaking of clubs, I didn't love the idea of having sex in front of people while they were having sex on the stage.
No.
I've had this conversation with a couple of my friends that have read this book that were like, I'm so interested to watch your podcast for this because I did not love this. My son was dying laughing in the river with me the other day while a friend and I were sitting on our ravs talking about Caught Up. I did not love that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? There's sex clubs where you have sex and watch people have sex? I didn't love it.
Yeah, so I guess going back, so Velvet is that sex club that she is a part of, and there's a few different like things that are, so it's like a little bar. There's very specific alcohol rules and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to have a membership to be there. There's like a full background check they do on everybody. Then there's different rooms. So there's like private rooms where you can go and have different things happen. Then there's also like there's a bondage room that you can watch. There's various kink rooms, and then there's a voyeur room, which is just kind of, it sounds like it's just kind of like a whatever anybody wants to put on stage type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would want to have anybody watch me have sex, and I don't know that I would want to participate in the audience.
But that's
I
like
could
the whole
see
thing about it, though.
But I could see the appeal of the voyeurism.
I couldn't get it. Like, even my friend was like, I don't picture that for you at all.
I don't know
and
that
it's
I
crazy
would ever.
because I'm too much information about Star, but I've had sex pretty much everywhere. I've even had sex in like super open where there's like 1,000 people around me and still could not, because it's different. Like, eyes are on you. Like, people don't know I'm having sex next to them.
Yeah.
Like, you could have a mini skirt and just be like,
but that's
perfectly.
more, I think part of that is like there's an excitement of getting caught in that, whereas like this is just it's like I wouldn't do porn and I wouldn't be a cam girl because that's just not what I would be comfortable with. But that's
I would just
essentially
be worried that
the
they'd
kind
be
of
judging
thing.
me the whole fucking time.
Right?
I would be like, don't look at my thigh jiggle. Like, I know that's really what it is.
I'd be like, I don't know if this is hot. Like, I like this, but I don't know if this is hot to other people. Like,
yeah,
I don't think I would want somebody watching me have sex. I wouldn't want to participate in like a group activity.
Mine would be
like
the whole
that.
time.
Like,
Mine would be the whole time. I don't like the person that I'm having sex with seeing me. Mine would be the whole time. Who sees me? Who sees me? Shh, that's not my thigh. That's their thigh. No, my butt's not jiggling. I don't know. I'm weird about like, it's the like rolls that you don't see until you're naked. That you're like, oh, look at that roll. Don't look at me. Turn around. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm weird about that. Like,
the self-consciousness.
Yeah, 100%.
But
otherwise, I think I would be a little more open to it. If I was rocking hard and I knew that nothing was jiggling, I might be open to it. I might. I don't know. But it's never going to happen in my lifetime, so we'll never find out. Because I just can't get over the idea of having, like, I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be on stage, that's for sure. I could see the appeal of the voyeurism, but I think that's the same as like anybody who would watch porn or anything like that. That's also like a form of voyeurism.
Have you ever recorded yourself?
No.
Okay. See, it's not fucking fun because I'm telling you,
I don't want to watch
the
myself.
whole time I was watching the re-record, I was like, did you see that fat roll? Did you see? Why am I jiggling like that? Why are you doing that? That face isn't pretty. No, it's not. So like the whole time you're doing it, now you have to think like there's a whole audience watching you, like, and they're getting it in real time. So you can't even edit it. You can't even be like I said, that together.
I could maybe see the appeal of being in the audience, but not the participation
but
around
even in the
me.
Audience,
I would be like, oh,
remember when they're like, then they're like behind them doing it.
Yeah.
And there's like threesome going on, and he's just like, he's into it. He's like, what's
totally
going
down.
on? Like threesome, here we come.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just couldn't.
Yeah. So when
I did love the book, but that really opened my eyes to like, wow, you really are a square. Square.
There's a lot that happens in this book that
she's a triangle. She's a square. I 100% was offended at myself. I was like, dude, I thought you were so like. To be honest, this book actually made me realize how not open to shit I am. Josh's book, I was like, oh, I'm totally.
It was fairly
all of
tame
it
in
I've
terms
done,
of all
right?
the
Like
stuff,
all of it,
yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is whatever. This book, I was like, you're so closeted. Like you have no clue. Like it really offended me in that sense. Thinking about it, I definitely am closet case over here.
Yeah,
I definitely think I'm a lot more open than I am, and I'm not. I was 100% like.
I don't know. I thought some of it was interesting. There were a lot of scenes with them together where they were like almost together, kind of. So they first meet again in person in the church.
Yeah.
Where he pins her up against the wall and he drops the tracker in his thing.
He can pin me up against the wall anytime of the day.
And
he's only like 5'10" or 5'11".
He's short. He's a short king.
But I don't know.
He would be below
something
my height
about his
minimum.
like stock is my style too. I think that's the other thing about Josh. He's like tall and lengthy, and I don't love that.
Well, and Josh is like the gym rat body. Whereas they said, I think she described Nico as like not having a gym rat body, but more just like hardened muscle from lots of work.
Yeah, but he still has like
he still has a great body, but it's not
he
like,
also has like a 6-pack in the story.
Yeah, he's fully built, but
So
he's not
he's
like
just not-
muscle on top of muscle. He's like hard work muscle.
Yeah.
So it's
But
like a different.
He's my kind of guy. I love short kings that know that they're fucking amazingly bought. Like they're just I'm not super tall, but I'm tall enough that 5'10" is like right.
He's
like
below my
literally like right there for me. But I'm saying like he's still tall enough. I'm a heightist. He's still tall enough. Okay, just barely.
6 feet's my minimum.
Yeah, I know. 5'10's my minimum,
Yeah,
and I only
see.
say that because my son's father is only 5'10". I have to give credit to where it's due. My son ended up being taller than that, praise the Lord. But yeah, but I didn't know that he was that short, and he was only supposed to be a one-night stand, so he wasn't, but he was supposed to be. So yeah, so I don't know. So I really liked that he was like normal. That like she didn't like 6'7" is fucking outrageous.
He's still out of massive
You have
dick.
to you have to find a man that's 6'7". You have to like be in the crowd and be like, that's the tallest guy in the room. Like it's not very average.
No.
5'10" is more like a normal. Yeah, he did have a massive dick though. I do have
did have a
that.
massive
I
dick.
forgot about that. He's over here fucking slunging around a goddamn microphone, and everybody's wondering how the fuck he did any of that. I don't know.
Well, because so they.
These poor boys, they read these books and they're like, how am I supposed to compete with that?
I know. It's like it is funny too because like in real life it doesn't like the size isn't always what matters. It's how they use it, right? So
She says that as she's lying through her teeth. That is not 100% a true statement. I've been with every size across the board, and I said that wrong. That is 100% a true statement. I've been with every size across the board, and it does not matter to me. I'm definitely not that girl. Because you know what? If you ain't got it, you got other things that can make it happen.
mm-hmm.
So God gave you fingers, toes.
There are other oh God, no toes. No toes. We re-recorded the episode where I went on my thing with no toes. No.
Oh, I had to bring it up. I was like thinking about it the last episode. I was like, we could bring up toes, sucking,
No.
licking.
I do not do toes. Thankfully, Nico doesn't either.
I love fucking toes. What's wrong with you? Feet are the best.
I hate
Star
feet.
definitely has a kink. It's feet. Just to make Katie crazy.
Oh my God. We're not kink shaming. We're not kink shaming. We're not kink shaming.
She's only Star kink shaming. She's like Star.
I will. Everyone else is fine. I'm just gonna shame you.
Right?
Yeah, so oh my gosh, so I forgot about the beginning of the book. Before Lauren goes to church, we get to meet her grandma.
Yeah, I love her grandma.
She's so funny.
I love her.
I
I want to
think
be a grandma like that.
There's at one point where she's like, I hope you're getting around, Lauren. And she's just like, Grandma, I don't want to talk to you about this. And she's like, one penis for 50 years, Lauren.
I don't know, man. My grandma was married for 60, and I'm telling you, there's like something about like they was just different times though. Like they were raised differently. I don't know. I feel like she's 100% right though.
This is so funny. I was just like,
gotta,
she's like,
like,
sow your wild oats.
Right?
I only had one penis for 50 years. And
I
was like,
love
"That's
the grandma. I
amazing."
want to be like that. I also don't want to be like out there sowing my oats either though. Like I'm like a mixed bag. Like
I'm very happy I don't have to sow my oats anymore. No, her grandma's so funny. Her grandma also, her Nona is the one who raised her.
yes.
Because her dad was,
Piece of
being
shit.
a piece of shit. And so when he goes missing, when her dad goes missing, it's just like, he's missing again. Oh, well. Like, it's not a big deal. And so, but Nico takes that as his opportunity that her dad is gone. That barrier is gone. He's an adult now. He can kind of deal with his dad.
Yeah.
Now he's willing to go after Lauren. So he approaches her at the church. He deposits a tracking device in her purse. She's very pissed at him still. She threatens his younger brother Alec with a taser.
No, that's a kink right there.
They go on their way.
Tased during.
I think we'll get to that later. So he ends up tracking her to Velvet is where
Yes.
he ends up tracking her down. He
doesn't go in though.
He does. He uses his fake ID. And
I thought he showed up and then went home and then came in.
Well, he called his buddy or his contact and is like, hey, is my ID good? Is there like a background and everything? And they're like, yeah, you're good. So he calls to see if he can get a membership, and then he goes in. He has a mask and everything, and he approaches Lauren in the voyeur room.
Okay.
Yep. And then she's just like, he's going to embarrass me. We need to get you out. I need you out of here. And so he's like, I'm not going to embarrass you. Is like what he says. So she's thinking in her head. And he's like, I'm not going to embarrass you. Like,
Yeah, because isn't she
here
like
to
on
see
like
you.
not a date? She was just trying to get.
She was looking at literally anyone to fuck at this point.
Yes.
She
She was
knew
trying
there
to
was
get,
this one girl that she had hooked up with a bunch, and she's like, I just need to get her alone in a room with a strap on, and I just need to fuck her and I'll be good. Like, she's like, I've just been only touching myself. I need to touch someone else and have someone touch me. Like, that's what I need. Because she ran into Nico at the church, and she was like, fuck, I'm really attracted to this guy, and this is not healthy.
Because
So-
he's hot. He's hot. Everything about him, I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, so she's like, I need to go get my rocks off and I'll be fine. So she goes to the Velvet looking for that after her roommates recommend it. Although Taylor, her roommate, does go, hate sex, hate sex, hate sex.
I love Taylor though. She was like my favorite because she was just like, I don't know. She was just wild, and I understood like that she's that friend that everybody needs to make bad decisions.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, Taylor's hyping her up. She's like, I'm not hooking up with Nico. That's not happening. She's like, whatever. You're gonna hook up with him, and then and then they go to Velvet. She's looking for someone. Taylor's already found somebody, and she ends up she's running away from him out of the voyeur room because she realized he's into it, and she's like, oh, that's attractive that he's into it. And then she's like, I really want to blow him right now, but I'm getting out of here. So she leaves. He runs after her, and they end up in a stairwell. And he like pins her against the wall, and like
Dude, anytime
her.
a guy pins you against the wall, everything in my body is like, yes, take me now.
Yeah, so he ends up hooking up with her. But before that, he has her pinned against the wall, and he's like, what do I need to do? I'm sorry. And she's like, grovel. And so he gets on his knees and he grovels.
My brain is like, he gets on his knees and he licks life away.
Well, he will do that later.
I know, but like literally like that scene, I was like, and then we...
But he grovels because he's like, I will do whatever. He's like, I would never grovel for anyone ever, but I will grovel for this girl because I need her in my life.
I know, but I wish it would have been a little more gravel.
Yeah, but so then he pulls her down, and then he starts finger fucking her, and then
That wasn't as good. He needed to tongue kiss her.
yeah, so he fingers her, and then they get interrupted by Taylor and Ryan coming to make sure she's not getting murdered, basically.
I forgot about that.
And Taylor's like, we good? And she's like, yep, we're good. And then Taylor's like, I knew they were going to hook up. And she's like, go away. And
Because they were going to hook up. There's that weird, like, I don't know. You know your friends.
they just have
You're
this
like,
tension.
you just have that weird...
So he's just spending this like, I want to make this up to you. I'm sorry. She's like, I'm not doing this. Like, I need a cool, like, this isn't happening. So then he ends up sending a request. I think did they see each other in the church again in the confessional before they meet up at the arcade? I think they might.
Did they have sex in the confessional?
Yes, they did. Well, okay, so they did, but it was like just
I can't
the
remember.
tip sex.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember how exactly it goes.
Yeah, so they end up in the confessional, and when did their phones get swapped? Oh, that was okay. Yes, so they went to
100% never gonna get this right.
He went to Velvet again because she was like, if you really want a second chance, like come to Velvet and we can talk if you're into this. So then she blows him then. Because they're in the voyeur room, and that's when
there's way more sex in this one.
They've got the guy with the Jacob's ladder, and the girl with the necklace. This
leash. Is the husband and wife situation, though.
No, the husband and wife was the first one. This is a new one where it's a guy and a girl come out. She's on a leash. He's got a Jacob's ladder on his dick, and she's taking him.
And then this is
he's
the
like
one
more, and then another girl comes out. So it's like a threesome.
Yeah, that one I couldn't handle. This one actually made me 100%. Realized how straight I was. Like I was like, I am definitely a straight and narrow person. That one actually really gagged me. I couldn't handle it and then like the whole time she does the most amazing job describing it, but the whole time I was thinking, nope, it was like one too many for me. It was like she was like, you can take one more, and I was like, no, I can't. Like I was like, I can't. I don't know why.
I guess the Jacob's ladder thing for me, when I was like imagining it, I was like, in my mouth. Like
I wouldn't want it in me at all.
Like I've read other books where there's piercings on their dick and they're like it feels really good inside, but I don't like on my mouth. I don't. Like,
I don't want any of it. I don't want it pierced
at all. It would catch on my teeth or something.
Yeah, I don't want any of it pierced because the amount of pure pain you could put somebody through if you just accidentally.
And the hood of her clitoris was pierced.
Yeah.
And she had a chain that ran
No,
up
I just couldn't. The whole time I was thinking, no, I can't.
The whole thing was very
And
freaky.
you could he knew how much to be able to pull and not pull, and I couldn't handle it. Again, no shame. I'm 100% think it's cool as shit for other people. Just like I think other people's tattoos are cool. I can't handle that shit. I don't know why. Like I'm a weak little but like that one actually like.
The idea of just like, I don't know, all I can think
I
is
also
like
think of hurting
being ripped
people.
out.
Yeah.
That's all I can
also
think
was
of.
like people being hurt like really weirded me out. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I realized I was like way too sensitive. I was like, I'm a lot more sensitive than I realized.
It's just maybe not my kink. The collar thing. I was like, no, but they're both into it, and everyone else is getting off around him. So she blows him there, and then they had they were both just like ecstasied out, and they go to have a drink, and that's when he ends up punching the guy who's being an asshole, and she's like, there's a no violence policy, get out. And then that's when their phones get swapped.
Forgot about that.
So then she calls him, and he's like, fuck, our phones got swapped. Just don't answer my phone if anyone calls you, because he's in the mob, obviously. And he's going and doing some other
I was like, he was like taking care of shit for his dad.
Yeah.
So he was in a real shitty situation.
He knew he had to leave. So she went to Velvet assuming that he was going to stand her up, and he showed up late. But he still showed up, and so then she was like, oh, he's not going to stand me up. Like, maybe he will show up this time. So then he has to leave to go help with stuff with his dad. She's pissed at him for punching the guy, even though he kind of deserved it. And she, even in her head, is like, yeah, the guy deserved it. But I'm not going to be okay with this.
Right.
So then their phones are switched. Then they end up meeting at church. And then that's when they end up in the confessional together. And then they do, he gets just the tip in, and that's all they're able to do. And he like comes all down her leg and stuff. And they're both like, we have to be quiet because all these people are coming in. They swap their phones and get out. And Nona very much understands that's just what happened. She's like, shut up, Nona. I'm like, nothing happened. She's like, okay, that's why you're all flushed. Like,
right?
Whatever.
Like, it's like, come on, just tell your grandma.
Nona
she needs
knows.
to know.
So that happens. And then, she gets the request for a $5,000 special request. And in the process, this is a whole side note. So another thing, so the two girls that are the Taylor and Lauren get a lot of requests from followers. So there's at one point where Taylor walks in, she's like, I got a request for an up close shot of my asshole. Who wants to bleach and wax it for me?
Wasn't that like super? Like Ryan was like,
Ryan's like, I already have to film this. I'm not going to be the one to bleach and wax it. So then Lauren has to help her, and they do that. And then Taylor gets a request to baste herself like a turkey.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, Taylor. And she's like, what do you mean? I have to baste myself. They're like, no, they want you to baste yourself. And she's like, what does that mean? And they're like, you have a cannibal.
I don't know if I would have been smart enough to get that one either. I mean, obviously I figured it out through the book, but I feel like I'm super not up on what's happening.
Baste myself like a turkey, like with a baster, like what? And they're like, no, there's like policies against this. Like he wants to eat you, like sexually eat you. He's not necessarily a cannibal in that sense. He just like has a fantasy of eating you.
I thought it was kind of interesting though that they touch on like all the different things,
which just remind me of the like Army Hammer scandal that came out where it was like he wanted to eat. Which we were like these really aggressive texts where he's like, I want to eat you. And all this
I mean, but like sometimes you just want to like bite somebody.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to like eat you, but I just want to like.
It came out that he was like a cannibal or stuff, and he's like, I'm not a cannibal. It's just a kink. Like leave me alone. Yeah. But yeah, so no. Taylor had to deal with that. But so Lauren gets a special request from Nico for NT95. And it's for $5,000, and they're like, "Holy shit!" And it's just like, "Meet me at this place. Meet up with me in person." And she's like, "Nope, that's an automatic rejection. I don't meet up with people." So he sends another one for $7,000, and he's like, "Meet with me at this arcade." And he has the diary page, and that tells her it's her whole fantasy of what she wanted to do in high school, and she denies it again. And then he shows up, or I think it was for $10,000 the second time. So then he like knocks on the door and is like, Lauren, like, please just give me a chance. I want to tell you I love you. Basically.
I know that was like the hard part.
And so she had this fantasy of giving him a blowjob in the photo booth. So
that's right. Because don't they meet at the mall?
They meet at the arcade. So there's like a closed down arcade that they kind of break into, and Taylor and Ryan are standing outside with their giant dog that they have.
Forgot about the dog.
There's at one point where the dog like has her favorite whip or something, and there's like a whole thing with that. But anyways, so yeah, they go to the arcade and they start hooking up, and she's like, "No, I was supposed to blow you," and he's like, "That's not what I want to do." So he like eats her out then in the photo booth.
I don't know. I wondered. It's weird. Okay, so sex is weird. Right? In the sense that like when you're with somebody and you really care about them, you want their pleasure, not yours, but that is your pleasure.
Yeah.
Like, but both. People like, especially in these books, they don't see it that way. They're like, why won't he let me do it? Well, Nico, I just want to do it. And you're just like, in the back of your mind, you're like, because you're missing that he fucking loves you. God damn it. You just want to hit him. You just want to be like, ah.
Well, and in Nico's POV, he even says that he's gotten himself off so many times to Lauren that he owes her orgasms at this point.
I don't know if that's like 100% a true statement, but
that's what he says.
I know, but I'm saying like I don't know.
I mean, you get pleasure from pleasuring your partner.
Like, yeah, that's why 100%. I'm like, so it's like interesting to me that they like, but in the book, it always frustrates me. I always want to hit them. It's like you want to hit the character over the head and be like, do you not see that he loves you, you stupid? Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one I really liked, but there was a couple scenes where I was just like,
yeah, and Nico's super nice to her in this point, and I all of it's running together at this point. But at some point, he does let her know that he only said that he wasn't going, that he didn't do all that stuff with her in high school to protect her, and reveals all the information about what happened with her dad and stuff.
Yes,
and her Nona ends up telling her that her dad is like actually missing, and she's like.
Her sister was being annoying too.
Yes, so her sister knew that she'd gone missing. So she goes to her sister, and her sister's like, "Oh yeah, well, Nico Jr. and Nico Sr. they're the cleanup crew for the mob. So they killed him."
Yeah, and then I think when he actually tells her that he like cares for her or whatever is when Velvet is not able to stay where they are. The rent is getting too high.
Yes, the rent keeps getting ratcheted up, and so he goes and he ends up he rips the guy's finger off with pliers.
Oh, God, I forgot how bad that was. And that one actually gave me. But, I mean, I get it. Like, they're in the mob. Like, you should have expected it. I don't know. I guess, like, Nico's just so...
Nico's been raised a certain way. I know, and but, he can't get out of it
in the story, though, you're not seeing that. Like, you're seeing this, like, softer, gentler, genuinely nice guy that's, like...
stuck in a bad situation, but he's still doing bad things.
But then he does like rips his finger, like chops his finger off, and he's like, "You have so amount of time." And something in you was like, "Oh, what happened to the nice guy?" Like I don't know. That one was weird to me.
Well, and before that, he goes to that like barge to this boat, and he's trying to figure out the guy's debts.
Isn't this when he meets Tyler?
He meets Tyler.
I forgot about that.
And Tyler's the bookie.
And
for
then
it.
And
so-
because the guy Tyler's fucking slick about it though, because nobody knows it's Tyler.
Yeah. So Tyler,
They have to hunt. They have to hunt this down, and then they have to sit on it or something. So Josh doesn't even know it's Tyler.
Josh doesn't know that it's Tyler, and the guy,
he's hiding it so well.
Yeah, the landlord for Velvet owes Tyler $2 million.
Forgot about that. Yes.
So Nico pays off his debt. He takes out all of his savings and he pays off his debt, and he gets the deed to Velvet.
Yes.
By doing that, and so then he's going to surprise Lauren, and he's so excited to show her that he did this. Meanwhile, also, just as a side note, we get a couple family dinners with Allie and Josh showing
I was thinking about that. I was like, we've missed the family dinners.
We get a couple family dinners with Allie and Josh, and most of those family dinners are just Allie being like, I'm not doing this, Nico, we're leaving. And then Josh being like, okay, bye. And then
he's just such a golden retriever, like you said. He just doesn't have I don't know, any of the... I don't know. I don't love Josh. I think I need a man that's
I love Josh.
Rawr. Maybe that's why I like Nico. I'm like, I need you to go chop this guy's finger off. Go handle my business.
Yeah. So, again, we had those family dinners kind of interspersed throughout. So we get a little bit of Allie and Josh. But so they meet up at the arcade. And then they also have, before all of this stuff goes down with Velvet, he does a $10,000 request to have her come to a family barbecue with him. To go to Allie and Josh's place.
I thought she did that willingly.
She does, but he requests it as a special request for $10,000 for that, because he's still trying to prove to her, because something happens where he thinks that she thinks that he's ashamed of her.
Oh, that's right, because she's super if you don't learn fact that I'm a sex worker, then don't be with me.
Yeah, so something happens to where
I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, and he made some comments that made her feel like he was not okay with her job. Oh, he said what do you want to do after this? When you're 50 and stuff. And she's like, this is my job. This is what I'm doing. And so
I know, but
really
he's not wrong though. There is a weird, a certain point. I also think too, though, in the back of his mind, he probably also wanted children and other things. And I don't know. It's not something that you see yourself doing.
I'm not totally sure kind of what his motivation was with it. I think he was just more kind of feeling out what she wants to do with her life, and less
because he does end up trying to bring it back around. That's not what I meant, honey.
And so she thinks that he's ashamed of her, and so she kind of storms out. And
that's society though. Society has put that on you.
Oh yeah, and she's lived with that stigma since she, since she started having sex, because all of it started in high school.
That's
when
true.
She was interested in it, and then she got shamed for being interested in it.
Yes.
And then she became a cam girl, and there's just that stigma around being
There's
in sex
just
work.
a weird stigma. I'm sure eventually though we'll get.
I think we're getting closer and closer, but sex is such a stigmatized thing in general. There's a lot of countries that are more open about it than the US
than
is.
the U.S.
But the
which
US,
we're supposed to be the more moderate. We're over here no.
I think there's still a very religious side of things that has been kind of in the all of the abstinence only teachings that have happened in the past and stuff that have led to that shame. And so there's a lot of people who don't accept it, I guess, even though it's such a normal part of relationships.
100%.
Yeah. So Lauren deals with that stigma and being worried that people are going to think that about her. She is totally comfortable in herself, and she's willing to cut off whoever wants to feel that way
about her. I love it that she's, I wish I had more of that in me, but yeah. Mm-hmm. That was one of the things. I think that was one of the things I really liked about this book, was that she didn't need to be told anything. She was very I am who I am, and you either love me or you don't.
Yes.
Take me as I am, which most of the books aren't like that, and a lot of women aren't like that. We're very wishy-washy. He doesn't love me for this or that.
She's very comfortable in her own body. She's very comfortable in the things that she wants and knows what her goals are in life, and she's sticking to them. And if you want to be a part of them, you're going to work yourself into the fabric of her life, not try to rip her out of it.
Yeah.
So, so that's all wonderful things about Lauren. So he invites her to Josh and Allie's barbecue they're having.
Yeah.
And Josh is actively having a hard time cooking meat, but Allie's I told him he didn't have to do that. But the first thing...
Isn't he gagging?
Yeah, he's gagging. But the one of my favorite things though is we're in Nico's POV, and Lauren's staring at Josh, and Nico's that's kind of weird. And then she turns to Allie and she goes, Allie Oxenfree? And Allie goes, oh, fuck. And she grabs Lauren and pulls her to the side because she's like, oh, no, nobody else knows about this NAS talk thing that we were involved in. And pulls
I
her
mean,
to the
it's
side.
hard not to, like, if you're in that world, you know, like.
This is also when Nico makes some joke about stalking, and Josh is like, I'd never do that.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no, that was great. Because it's like, oh, God. Just the throwbacks into Lights Out was just funny.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I love Allie and Josh so much. They're so funny. But yeah, so she's like, oh shit, someone in real life recognizes because Lauren recognized the tattoos on Josh's hands.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, that's the faceless man. And then she looks over at Allie and is like, you're Allie Oxenfree.
Because I don't think we talked about it in Lights Out, but the comments, remember the women that were mad in the comment section? I can't even imagine.
Because she was the only person that he followed.
He followed and responded to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
became
that.
a
Yeah,
whole
that would have
thing.
been, I forgot about that,
And he posted
quick little bleep.
He posted the mask talks that were like when she's mad at you, and he was all sad in them, and everyone's like, get Allie. Why is she mad at him? And all this stuff. They're like, oh my God. But yeah, so Lauren recognizes them from Mask Talk and is like, oh shit, you guys are here. And Allie's like, fuck, no one else knows about that. Please don't share this
Yeah,
with
like
them.
please keep that to yourself. But that actually made their relationship like grow together. Like, and then she realized that people were actually comfortable with her lifestyle because they were into it too. Like
Yeah.
they weren't any better than the rest of them.
It's true. And so, yeah, so Nico kind of takes her into this world and shows her, I want to show you off. I want you to be on my arm. Like, I fully support you and who you are. So a bunch of stuff goes down. He ends up getting Velvet's deed. He is so excited to give this to her, and he has this whole plan on what he's going to do. He's like planning what he's going to do. When he looks and he sees that the tracker that Josh put on Lauren's phone is at his apartment, he's like, this bitch figured out that I would love if she broke into my house, and like she's totally into this now. So he's like, sweet, she's like planned something for me. So he shows up and she tases him when he gets in there, and he like slams her up against the wall and is about to punch her in the face, and it's like, oh fuck, sorry, like I didn't mean to hurt you. And his back's like just burnt to shit because from the taser, and he has a knife wound that's been healing this entire book that has been a pain in his side, literally the whole book. And that's when she's like, you disappeared my dad. And he's like, well, and she's like, we talked, I don't want any more secrets. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I killed your dad. That's what you want me to tell you? And then she's like, fuck you. And he's like, okay, I didn't kill your dad. And she's like, what am I'm not going to believe anything you say to me. And so he ends up kind of talking her down a little bit as much as he can, but he isn't able to. And then she stomps out, and he ends up showing up again to her apartment with the deed. And it's like, I will get out of your life. I just want you to have this.
Yeah. That's the only thing I hate about like most of these books is but it's real life though. Like the like saying shit you don't really mean, even though somewhere you must mean it because you said it.
Yeah. And so he brings that to her, and he's like, this is the deed to Velvet. It was my way out, but now I'll just deal with my dad. And she's like, no, I'm not going to like take this away from you. And so that's when kind of all the truth comes out. He shares all the information that her dad is actually in Italy. They disappeared him to Italy, but he's not dead.
Did he actually know that?
Yes, he did know that. He was able to show her proof that he was smiling in Italy.
For some reason, I was thinking he had to call somebody to actually figure that one out. I don't remember him.
No, he knew that information. So he shared all of that, and he, told her every truth she could possibly ask for, basically.
On the porch, right?
No, it was in her bedroom.
Didn't they start off on the porch?
They do have a conversation on the porch, and that's after he requests they go to the arcade, I think. And that's when, or maybe not the request to the arcade, but it was before they go to Velvet.
I like how I'm out of order here.
We're both out of order. We remember the plot points, just not when they happened. But yeah, they do talk on the stairs at the bottom of their apartment building.
Yeah.
Before she decides to give him a chance, and she tells him to meet her at Velvet. That's the second time he goes to Velvet.
Okay.
Yeah. So that happened earlier. But no, when the deed happened and all that kind of stuff, and she realizes he's telling the truth, that's in her room, and that's when they finally actually like fully have sex.
Okay. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Nico's like, I understand why women like being pinned up against the wall, because I'm enjoying being pinned up against the wall right now.
I don't know if I've ever done that. That just seems, I don't know. I guess I'm like a damsel in distress.
Well, she basically slams him against the wall, kisses him, jumps up on top of him, wraps her legs around him, and just slams herself down on his cock. Like it's just like immediate. And he's like, oh, I'm inside her.
Broken cock. I don't know. Like, I guess like my brain's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's actually a joke in my not my family group, in my friend group, is that we want a man that can hold us. But I'm like, girl, I'm too big. I need like a big boy. Like, yeah, I don't know. I've had against the wall sex. I don't think it's the most amazing thing in the world. It's very hard to like keep up the pace going. You're like, all right, well, let me get my leg down and like maybe try to help a little. I don't know. I don't. When like every time they do certain scenes in certain books, I'm like,
like I don't know
it
how
works,
this would work
but
out.
like it doesn't work well enough. Like I'm telling you, jumping on his cock and trying to make sure that shit fits is like
it's
broken
not just
dick.
like,
Like you're literally
it would
he's
take like a
crying
little
on the
bit more lining
floor.
up.
Like it's not every time. I'm just like, damn it, I want it to be that cool, but it's not.
Yeah.
It just bothers me. I guess like my age, I'm like over here aging myself. It bothers me.
It bothers
The
me.
grandma in me is like, how dare you?
No, but so that's when they actually like have sex for the first time, and he tells her that he's gonna leave the mob for sure. Like he's done. He's gonna, be the since she's not taking the deed from him, that's gonna be his source of income. Is a reasonable amount of money from Velvet, and then expanding Velvet to be more afterward is kind of his plan. And she's like totally down for it. And then she's like, when are you gonna tell your dad? And he's like, next family dinner. And she's like, can I come?
I forgot about that. I was thinking she did go to a family dinner, but I didn't remember how she ended up there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, she didn't really want to go. I didn't remember, but I guess she did. Because this is when she wanted to like, but his dad's a fucking piece of...
So they show up to family dinner, and his mom's like, I'll back you up, whatever. Like, he's being an ass. Like, I'm here for you, whatever. And so they get in there, and they start kind of... There's no shop talk at the dinner table is the big thing.
Yeah.
And
but Josh and... is it Allie?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say it, then I was like, I'm going to say her name wrong.
Josh and Allie are engaged. They look like...
Yeah, but they're also there because they all come in together. They all walked in together knowing what was happening.
Josh knows the plan, so Josh has a plan in case things go sideways.
Yeah.
That he's going to help out with. So they go in and everything happens. And, of course, Nico Sr. starts saying a bunch of shit about it. And then a bunch of stuff goes down. And then Senior is choking Junior. And Lauren runs up and tases Senior in the neck multiple times.
Which she probably loved every fucking minute of it. I have to be honest with you. If you got to like have a like somebody that you hated and you got to just tase the shit out of them, would you just keep going? Would you be like long tase or like repetitive tase? Like part of me wants a cattle prod, like the tase, like the cattle prod tase. Part of me wants one of those. I 100% would just
I can picture one
where you have
person.
like a long stick that you could just walk up and be like, I want one of those.
Oh
I
my God.
hardcore like want to carry one around
Just
and
a
just tase the
cattle
fuck
prod.
out of people. Just be like. My problem is that if they gave me one, I would just be going buck wild with it.
My God.
I would forget to like stop tasing people. I'd be like, I don't even know you.
I could think of one or two people I'd like to tase. Yeah,
But like, I don't know, like your father-in-law, that would be kind of fun. I don't know. I didn't have a
no,
bad
my
father-in-law.
father-in-law's great.
I was like, I didn't have a bad father-in-law, but it would be kind of fun. Just be like,
no, my in-laws are great. I don't
you're
really have one of those.
You're definitely never, when you marry that family after you've tased him in the neck like 8 times after you marry that family dinners are going to be awkward.
Yeah. So, well, and when he was choking him, he was like, Dad, stop, is what he said. And the dad, calling him dad, kind of stopped him, and he was releasing. And his mom was like, what the fuck? And he's like, well, he kind of was releasing when I said dad. And she's just like, no. So then Alex shows up, and he's got a duffel bag. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm done too. And like all the brothers leave. And she's like, you go leave with Lauren. Like, I'll take care of this. Like, his mom is totally just like, I will deal with him. He's a piece of shit.
Well, he just tried to kill her son. I don't know. Like, sorry.
But yeah, so then they leave, and then we cut to Lauren and him are so he's left the mob, and then Lauren and him are getting ready to be on stage at Velvet.
I was thinking about this. I like to think that I'm super open. I really do. I like to think and imagine that I'm a very like, I can't do this.
No.
Now, could I be the domineering bitch that comes on stage and is like, beg to me, dog? 100%. Could I totally be the bitch that's like, lick my toes? Hell yes. Could I have sex on stage? No. But I could definitely have a leash and walk you on stage and definitely like chain whip you the whole fucking night. I could definitely be domineering. I could not have sex on stage.
I couldn't
even
do
if it was my partner, even if I love them, like even I have to be honest with you, we forgot to we kind of breached on it like a hot second, but I really loved the husband-wife duo that like he got to see. I loved them. I loved their whole little
They were
thing.
very sweet and very like in it together.
Yeah, I loved that. I couldn't do it.
No.
It's like literally everybody I've ever had that read this book, we've talked about it. They're like No, I agree. I couldn't do it.
No.
But could I be the bitch that's like, get on your knees and walk on stage like as a dog? 100%.
I also could not do
no,
that.
no fucking qualms about it. I could be like, pull the leash the whole night. I just could not handle the sex act is just too intimate for me to like.
I think, like I said, I don't know how I would react if I went to one of those clubs. Like, I genuinely don't. I don't think I would enjoy it necessarily.
Have you been to a strip club?
No.
Oh, it's fun. Star doesn't have problems with that kind of stuff. That's why I don't think I'd have a problem being in the club itself. I don't think I would want to participate in said club.
Yeah, that's I don't.
But I don't know if it's like it's participation optional. I guess like
you could go to the voyeurism room and not do the audience participation, I guess. But then you're also like, your voyeurism is going on around you too. So I guess it would kind of be all the same thing. But I don't know. I don't know how I would feel unless I was in that situation. I don't know that I would want to put myself in that situation.
See, I don't have a problem going. I'm like, anybody want to invite me? I'll totally go.
Yeah.
Expect me to be dressed like this though.
But okay, so this is like a dumb thing. When I go to Victoria's Secret, I get uncomfortable still. And I think it's mainly, and it's not because of what they sell.
No.
Like, I'm totally fine buying lingerie. I don't care. Like, that doesn't bother me, but something about that store just makes me feel like I shouldn't be in there.
Okay. So I think we've talked about it on other podcasts. I don't like sex toys. I don't go into a sex shop.
Really?
Grosses me the fuck out.
Oh, I've been into sex shops.
I think I was like 16 when the boys drugged me in there though.
Oh my God.
We were like screwing around and we had one that was really close to our house and the boys were like, come on. And I hung out with mostly guys. So it wasn't like they were like, oh my God, we got a girl. Mm-hmm. I was hanging out with them. We were like, and they were like, we have to take you in there. And so they did. And I don't know if it was because I was 16 or what, but I was just like horrified. And I don't know if that's what broke me, but like, no, I can't go in one. I've never been in one. 16 was like the only time.
I guess like the backside of Spencer's is not any worse to me though.
No, but when we walk through Spencer's, my friends can always tell. I'm always like eyes down, walking around, and they're always like, "What'd you be?" And I'm just like, "Keep walking, keep walking." Like I don't know. Like I'm not like. I'm also like the person that doesn't do drugs. Like I'm like, "What's that?" Oh, it's a pipe. I'm also
same
like
way on
super
that,
stupid. Like I don't know. Like because even Spencer's had like a couple different like bongs, and I was like, "What is?" And my friend was like, staring at me like, how fucking stupid are you?
I would be the same way. I'm like, I don't do drugs. I don't know what this is.
I was like, I put it like back down. I don't know. I guess I'm just, I don't know, unfamiliar with it.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Like, here's the girl that was bondage. I was into bondage for a long time with my ex-husband. So I don't understand how I'm like, I don't know. I would be totally interested. I've been to strip clubs. I don't know. There's like certain things. I think it's like unfamiliar with it, so I don't like
I said, I think it would be more of I don't know if I would put myself in a situation, but I also don't know how I would feel until I was in that situation, so I don't know what my reaction is.
I love the human body, so I'm like, even strip clubs, I'm like, this is awesome. I don't know.
Strip clubs would make me uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, I think they would make you uncomfortable. Especially full nude, which is where we usually go. But San Francisco's got some pretty cool ones that like we've been to. I think we didn't go to one in Vegas. I think we talked about it. Problem with Vegas is that like it's too like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas is a bunch of bullshit because you always know somebody. I've run into somebody everywhere I go. I'm like, God damn it. No, I don't think I could handle it in Vegas. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. Like I can't think of any. I've never been to the East Coast, so I wouldn't say that, like, I don't know. Yeah,
and I think Lights Out and Caught Up is, like, it's not set in an actual city, but it's based off Chicago.
That's how I always pictured it, too, the whole time, was in that area. I was on the East Coast. So, like, part of me is like, I wonder if it's bigger cities have, like, cooler shit.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, is this just, like, that kind of situation? But I don't know.
Yeah, like, our cities over here aren't that cool.
So, yeah.
You're a little, like, shittier over here.
But so that's where the light bondage comes in that we hear about in the trigger warnings, is that little scene. And then I think the epilogue is Tyler, right?
Yes, because he meet the girl. Isn't she older than him though? Wasn't there like some weird like
I don't remember
I don't know, because that's when I was like pissed. I was really hoping it was gonna be like Nico's brother.
I would love to see Alec's book. I think we got a lot of Alec in Caught Up. So I
Yeah.
feel like maybe the next Into Darkness book after Tyler could
Yeah,
be
but I
him.
was really hoping. So when I found out it was Tyler, I was like, damn it. Like, don't get me wrong. He's going to have a great book. I already know because she writes really well and I'm excited. But I wasn't excited that it was him.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a little bit of a bitch, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. He is the preppy little bitch that I would have probably keyed his car in high
he's
school.
kind of a frat boy.
100%.
You know?
I would have keyed his car in high school. He
Yeah.
would have been the car that I would have keyed bitch on. Let's just be honest. But he's like, I don't know. And part of me wonders if the reason why I don't like him is because he's my type. Like, part of me wonders if I'm just mad that, like,
Maybe.
I would be attracted to him and it pisses me off. Like, I don't want to be attracted to you, God damn it. I'm attracted to him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
certainly into preppy boys. So
like, I'm 100% like offended that I think that's what it was, though. It was like, there was just enough of him that I was like,
yeah, I'm interested to see because I didn't see the whole Tyler thing coming in Caught Up. So I am interested to see what his book's like.
But see, he's got like a weird, okay, so not only did he hold the secrets for Josh, but he's also the weird gambling guy that like the owner had like shit ton of money to. Like, so there's a lot of like
He's very
weird,
connected.
you don't know what's going to happen because he's got so much, I don't know, man. He's got all kinds of things. He's got his hands in everything, and you're just a little weirded out because you see this like preppy boy that just is like,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna be like, we're gonna be blown away. I'm gonna be amazed. When is that book coming out, anyways?
I don't know that she announced when it's coming out. I know that I think it's called Game On though.
I wonder what Game On, huh? Because like, hoping that that's like he's not playing games with the chick because she's older, I think.
Well, I think it's because
like,
he has the gambling
her.
stuff. I think that's what it is because he runs like the gambling ring.
Gotcha. Because he does introduce her in the end when you get like his thing. He does introduce her. Doesn't she come to one of the family barbecues? That's how he introduces her?
Yes, so that's the ending of that book is that he comes to the family barbecue at Allie's house.
Yeah, I don't think Allie was expecting to meet her, was she?
I don't think so, but yeah. So I'm interested to see what Tyler's book's going to be like. I definitely have more.
I hope we get more. What's the word? I'm drawing a blank. Like more of his like
background and stuff?
roundish, like not just like his, like more of like who he really is.
I think we will.
Interesting. What we've gotten of him is like kind of you just want to beat him with a bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You usually take it back to him.
That's why I think it's going to be an interesting book because I think when I read Caught Up, I was kind of like, what? This is not what I was expecting. But I went rereading it as an audiobook. I had more of an appreciation for it because I knew what was going to happen in it again. And I liked that we got to see that Nico had a softer side underneath and that he, loved Lauren so much. And I liked that when she called him, the evolution of her when she first sees him again is calling him Junior and then she calls him Nick. And that's like, he's like, oh, she still cares about me because he hates being Junior. He hates being Nico because that's his dad's name.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I didn't realize my friend hadn't read it yet.
Oh, yeah.
And I kept calling him Junior. And she's like, who the hell is Junior? And I was like, Nico. No, I kept calling him Nico. And she was like, who the hell is Nico?
Like
and I was like, Junior. And she was like, and then she read it and she goes, oh my God, girl. Yeah, I just remember thinking like, my bad. I totally thought you read it because she read Lights Out before me. So I thought she was ahead of me. I didn't realize I was like outpacing her. But Katie's coming outpacing all my friends now. I've been going through books so fast I didn't even realize. I was like, holy crap. And I've been finishing books so fast that like even I was like, holy shit, I gotta slow down.
You told me you read like 4 books in 4 days.
It was ridiculous. And it was because they were good. And I was just like, oh my God. And then Daniel looked at me and was like, you need to slow down. That's a lot of money. And I was like, I know. It's killing me.
Yeah, I think that's all we have on Caught Up. So if you have any other dark romances you would like us to cover, let us know. Like I said, my like knowledge wealth on this is not very. There's not a lot of it for me. So I don't have a ton of dark romances that I've read. But if you have one that you would like us to cover, I have my eye on a couple that we might look at eventually. But go ahead and leave a comment on us for our Spotify and YouTube and or our socials. We'd love to hear from you. And that we will see you guys next time.